Hi learners, welcome to today's lesson. I am Teacher Ken and we'll be looking at the periodic table today, that topic of from the Form 2 chemistry syllabus, Form 2 chemistry, the periodic table. And we'll be starting by defining the few terms that we will come across as we study this topic. And the first thing to define, of course, is the periodic table. I want to read the definition. The periodic table is a table of chemical elements that are arranged in order of their increasing atomic number. A table that has chemical elements arranged in order of increasing atomic number. And since I have said they are arranged, you find that as they are arranged in that order, in that table, they end up grouping themselves, whereby elements with the same physical and chemical properties end up in same groups or periods. We will see that as we progress. So that is the periodic table. We can also define elements. As you have seen, it is made up of elements, and an element from Form 1 chemistry is a pure substance that cannot be split into simpler substances through chemical means. That is what an element is. Something pure that can't be split into simpler substance through chemical means. So, with the two definitions, let us look at the first 20 elements of the periodic table. The first 20 elements of the periodic table. This is a requisite that will be needed so that you can now learn the periodic table by itself. So let us just look at this. I know it is a simple topic, but of course let us do our mind and see what is needed in the topic, the periodic table. And the first 20 elements of the periodic table, it means the periodic table is a table that contains a lot of elements. I think around 200 elements, but they keep on adding themselves as new elements are discovered. But now, when we talk of the first 20 elements, we can't learn each and every one of these elements that I have just talked about. There are too many and they have diverse properties. So at this level, at high school level, we will be learning only the first 20 elements. Although we have some other elements mentioned here and there that don't belong to the first 20 elements. I mean, elements like zinc, iron, elements like gold, those ones are not among the first 20 elements, but on properties and the periodic table, we'll be learning the first 20 elements. So let me name them here. Number 1 up to 20. I decided not to do this off the camera so that we can do it together. I named the first 20 elements and then together we'll name the chemical symbols. So I'll write here number 1 to number 20. 1, this pen, minute, 1 to 20. That way, and I know you have seen this since Form 1, so we can just name the first 20 elements. You can also remind yourselves by just naming them after me. I'll be starting with hydrogen. Second one is helium. Third one is lithium. Number 4 is beryllium. That is the spelling. Number 5 is boron. 6 carbon. 7 is nitrogen. 8 is oxygen, that way. 9 is fluorine. 10 is neon. 11 is sodium. 12 we have magnesium. 13 we have aluminium. 14 is silicon. 15 is phosphorus. 16 is sulfur. 17 chlorine. 18 is argon. 19 is potassium. And 20, and the last one is calcium. Yes, calcium. These are the first 20 elements. As for me, I know them by heart, and I would recommend you to do the same. Know them by your heart. Each and every one from number 1 up to number 20. You can know them maybe through acronyms. Or maybe using a song. These are different methods, but for me, I prefer knowing them. Is number 3 is lithium, number 14 is silicon, number 17 is chlorine. I know them by number. I think it is the best way, because sometimes when you use acronyms or songs, you may end up, maybe you read along your acronym, and then when you are assigning the elements to their acronym or to their letters, you may end up missing sometimes. So, but if you are used to that, or maybe if you have already done that and you are sure you will not make mistakes, then you can use acronyms, you can use song. But I still believe that the best method is knowing the element by their number. So naming them from number 1 to 20 by their numbers without having to use acronyms, without having to use songs, and it is possible to anybody. But also acronyms and songs are good. I don't mean acronyms are bad, but in some other places they are very good in naming, but not in this case. Okay, let us now name the chemical symbols of these elements. The chemical symbols of these elements. And for a chemical symbol, before we do that, it starts with a capital letter. That is one of the conditions. It starts with a capital letter. The very first letter of a chemical symbol of an element is a capital. Some elements have a single letter as their chemical symbol. Like phosphorus has the letter P as the chemical symbol, P. Others have two letters as their chemical symbol, like chlorine. The chemical symbol for chlorine is Cl, a capital C and a small l. So it is just the very first letter of the chemical of the element name and another letter, Cl, another letter from the same name. Others like sodium have the chemical symbol. Sodium has a chemical symbol. The chemical symbol is Na, and this Na is from the Latin name of sodium, which is natrium. So the Latin name of sodium is natrium. Natrium. From this natrium, we pick the first two letters to be the chemical name of sodium, Na. The same case to potassium. The Latin name for potassium is kalium, and from kalium we pick letter K to be the chemical symbol for potassium. Okay, those are just the rules that are used. So let us name the rest, their chemical symbols. For hydrogen, we got H, good. Helium we have He, lithium, Li, beryllium, boron, carbon C, nitrogen is an N, oxygen, fluorine, neon, Ne, sodium, Na from natrium, magnesium, Mg, seems easy, aluminium, Al, silicon, Si, phosphorus, P, sulfur, capital S, argon, Ar, potassium, from the word kalium we get a capital K, and calcium, just a C and an A. These are the first 20 elements of the periodic table. In the next step, we will be mapping them to the periodic table.